Well, hello and welcome to another edition of 907 Sports, where it is all Alaska all the time. Jordan Rodenberger solo calling the plays in this one, as although football season has ended in Alaska as far as competitive on the field, still a lot to talk about on the gridiron when it comes to the state, as this past weekend the uncommon opportunity to meet a couple of NFL legends in our very backyard. That is Daunte Culpepper, most known for his time with the Minnesota Vikings in the early 2000s, and that is the Jim McMahon Super Bowl champion quarterback for the 1985 Bears. And they made some appearances this weekend, some meet and greets, some watch party action as well, which was super fun opportunity, and we're gonna show some of those highlights and some of the behind the scenes of that through Charlie Fellows reporting.
On a cold, icy Anchorage morning, a pair of sports bars are packed. Humpies and flat-top pizza filled with purple and burnt orange jerseys, respectively, fans coming out through the chill to meet some NFL legends. One is a Super Bowl champion, the signal caller for what is regarded by many as one of the greatest football teams ever assembled, the '85 Bears. The other, a three-time Pro Bowler who broke all kinds of passing records in a Minnesota Vikings jersey. Both now exploring new frontiers, experiencing a bit of the last frontier along the way.
When I think of Alaska, I think of the temperature, the cold, and then bears. I always hear about the bears, you know. I was terrified. They were like, "Oh, you got to see the bear." I'm like, I don't want to see it. I really look at them if they're like 500 yards away. I look at them.
Unfortunately for Daunte, the bar next door was filled with them.
There's Bear fans here. I was surprised that they got a lot of Bear fans here in Anchorage.
The two stars here with production company Erickson Unlimited, taking part in private dinners with fans, meet and greets, and today's watch parties. But that's not all they've been up to.
I was fortunate. We went to the conservation. They had the brown bears, black bears, and they had elk and minks. It was awesome.
We found a bar with a bull in it the other night, a mechanical bull, so we all took a turn on that. That was kind of fun. Thank God there was a lot of padding because I flew off that thing.
While tragically no footage survives from that encounter, the Alaskan people seem to have made an impression that neither man will forget.
Well, they've been very, very nice, cordial. Seem like they like their football as well.
Everybody's been very nice and accommodating, and it's just like down-to-earth people, man. I love it. I love it.
Super cool to have them hanging out with us, and may recognize Culpepper from the cover of Madden 2002. For the gamers out there, was nice enough to sign my copies. That was pretty cool there. Admittedly, am a Packers fan, so had to root against Daunte for many Sundays growing up. But shout out to Jim McMahon, Daunte Culpepper coming out here. And speaking of, we have a current Alaskans in the NFL as we do, which of course Brandon Pili suiting up for the Seattle Seahawks. You know, Culpepper, McMahon, they were first-round draft picks. Well, Pili went undrafted in 2023, but is carving himself out in NFL career, and one of the biggest plays of that 3-year career so far happening on Sunday Night Football in prime time. Seahawks going a little bit unprecedented by putting a nose tackle on kickoff coverage, and that was paid off by Pili, the 334-pound defensive lineman, coming up with a forced fumble, the Pili punch, and Seahawks pounce on it and would score on the very next play, actually, on that possession, in a big-time win over Washington on Sunday Night Football in prime time in front of America. So that was pretty cool. And their head coach, Mike McDonald, talking a little bit after the game about that unique decision that ultimately paid off.
Seeing Brandon Pili out there making that play, punching the ball out. Is that the biggest guy that you've seen make an impact play like that?
Yeah, well, John and I were just laughing when Jay said that, well, now we can play Brandon Pili on a kickoff team. I kind of took a deep breath and tried to figure out what the heck was going on. But, yeah, I mean, again, who puts a defensive tackle on kickoff team and who's bought into the role and then goes out, and it's like kind of like ball finds energy type of thing. You go out, you have a great attitude, you prepare the right way, do your job, to the 100% of your ability, and it's funny how things work out like that. But happy for Brandon.
I'm sorry, why was he out there? What was the reason for putting him?
well, I'm not going to share the tactic behind it, but like there are some things on why we wanted to, and I mean that's a shout out to Jay and Fitz on like how they strategize and use our whole roster. So they think out of the box, and they're always trying to find ways to give us an edge.
And that was one of the more productive games of Pili's young career, playing 29 total snaps, including 20 on the defensive end and, of course, some on special teams, as you saw there. He had 2 total tackles and that big-time turnover. So excited to see how they will utilize Pili throughout, up and down the roster in different spots. Making big-time plays for the Seahawks. Of course, a lot of Alaskans cheering for the Seahawks, and there's another reason to right there with Brandon Pili. And, you know, for Alaskan seniors, I should say, one last time to strap on the pads, put on the helmet with the Senior Bowl. It's really the Aska Shriners game, and it is a fundraiser for Shriners Hospital in the state. It's raised nearly $500,000 this game alone. Seniors getting one last chance to get out there at the top in the state. And what's cool is you get all of the divisions from 9-man, D3, D2, and the large school Division 1 players is where there's Deuce Aliile Falaula, the Max Preps Player of the Year named just like last week. And of course, he was making some big time plays out there, but it's really fun getting all of them together, sharing the huddle together after, you know, battling against each other on the field throughout the year. You had state champions from both sides making plays. Super cool to see, and you get to hear from top plays. You get one last senior game, maybe some tape for college before sending it off. But here's some of the sounds from the players and coaches after that one, including the reigning state champs at So High, Galen Brantley. And let's see if we can put that in real quick as we go live here. And
just fellowship with the guys and meet new kids and experience another level of football with some other schools. You know, just come out here, just have this opportunity to play in the Shriner game. It feels nice.
Both of those two are kids that can go on and become, you know, successful college football players that are you know, young men of good character, and you know, really it was just a blessing for me and my staff to be able to coach those young men.
During the season, I broke my collarbone and I was out for 7 weeks. So, you know, to come back and play, it felt really great. It was a good experience too. It's just a great experience, and I didn't think I was going to do what I was going to do, but it was good.
I feel great. It was fun to play with the team and stuff. It's felt kind of weird playing the last game with my head coach and stuff, but it's been fun though, and I savored the moments and stuff like that, but yeah.
And with that Senior Bowl Shriners game in the books, that should officially do it for the high school football season in Alaska, at least for now, until, you know, some of those more of those awards start to get released in the coming weeks. And if the Max Preps one wasn't a sign of any indication, we may see defensive player Deuce Aliile Falula winning the Gatorade Player of the Year, which is obviously a very sought after award in all sports, really. But in other news, we had UAA hockey on the road over the weekend, picking up one of the biggest wins for the program in quite some time. They go on the road and defeat the number 6 team in the country, Denver University, 4-3 in overtime. Dimitri Kebrew scored that game-winning goal in overtime, while former Fairbanks Ice Dog, some of y'all may recognize this name, Tyler Kristoff, had 46 saves in net as they take down number 6 Denver, who's the 2024 national champions. And they're also actually led by one of Anchorage's very own David Carl, a top young hockey mind in the sport right now, national champion, catching up with Coach Shasby about that big time win and that relationship with Coach Carl.
Away from anything, what impressed you on the ice, team performance-wise?
No, just our defensive game. We didn't give up too many great opportunities. We were good. Our discipline was good. We left their power play kind of out of the ability to execute, and so And our special teams were good that night. Like if you're gonna win a game against a team like Denver, you got to score a power play goal and you got to limit their chances. But overall, it came down to an outstanding goaltending performance from Tyler Kristoff, and we're looking for a couple more of those from him this year.
Yeah, that's a great way to set the tone there. And, just in your tenure, where does that win kind of rank, in terms of big wins for the program here?
Yeah, I mean, Denver's the all-time winningest program with 10 national championships. And going into their building for the first time for our program over these last 4 years, it was a great stepping stone for us to show that we can go to the best and compete with them and pull out some wins. And so it's a group that we have a six-year agreement with, so we'll be in their building 3 more times over the next 6 years, and so it gives us confidence moving forward, and we're excited about what the rest of this year holds.
Yeah, and matchup another young successful Alaskan hockey coach on the other side. How great was it to get a win over him, and just kind of that relationship between y'all two?
Yeah, he's incredible. He's really stepped up to support the UAA program, scheduling the games with us, like I said. And he's somebody that everyone in college hockey and in the hockey world really looks up to and appreciates how he goes about his business. And you can learn a lot from the way he conducts himself, and runs a top-notch program that everybody's looking to knock off, and really proud of what he's been able to accomplish.
Seawolf fans won't see them on home ice until December. They're continuing their road trip. They're heading to the East Coast, play some teams out there, but first weekend in December, you will see Seawolves back on home ice. And, continuing with the college roundup throughout the week, it was a big weekend. On Halloween night, we had a volleyball matchup between UAA and UAF, highly anticipated one. Of course, both having great seasons. UAF, on one hand, is having their best season in program history, as we have to check out the Halloween costumes. Of course, everybody's showing out. That was Friday night Halloween, super fun, and it was a great matchup. Although UAAF, one of the top defensive teams, and they have won the last 3 matchups against UAA after, this series was very one-sided for better half of a decade here. Now UAF making that 4 in a row and back-to-back at the Alaska Airlines Center. Not many teams taking down the Seawolves on their home court, but UAF does it again. They're top 20 ranked in the country as they win 3-1 on Halloween night. So we'll see how that all plays out once it comes down to GNAC playoff time, which is right around the corner. So keeping up with a lot of sports, as some are wrapping up and some begin with the hockeys and the basketballs of the world. And I know skiers and mushers are hoping for more snow to come. But either way, we'll keep you updated right here on 907 Sports on our website and streaming platforms. But for now, we appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you next time.